the alternatives merge ever closer to the functionality, the price differential even gets to me now that 2,000 for one of these versus 400 for something relatively comparable.
Yep.
You know, I could probably learn to put another button. I got it. Those 50-50 things that you never
That's right. Yep. Good morning. Yeah. However, who was it? Someone brought in their computer, or I was using someone's Windows computer. And it was only like a year or two old, and it was already slow. Like it slowed down significantly, and so I think I'd rather. And it's not so much the. Well, I mean, obviously the hardware plays a factor, but I think the Mac, the software, Mac OS, just it doesn't, and the programs that go on it, they don't slow down the computer, and so that's why people have had their Macs for like 10 years and they still run smooth.
Interoperability between platforms, so seamless. So I don't know.
But yeah, it does. I don't think I will, but I've briefly been looking because my iPad isn't working. I've been briefly looking at like a Kindle or a Surface Pro, and I did look at the Surface Pro. Those are expensive too, though. Yeah. And so that wouldn't change the price point. And I thought, why would I go Surface Pro when I just migrated away from Windows? Why would I go back, even if it is a cool little machine? So.
You've been without your iPad for a long time.
Thought
about that a couple of weeks ago.
Since October. Yeah. Yep. Still towning paper. Yep.
You're getting worried about it.
Just when I start shaking. And Sandy won't be here today. Her iPad crashed. So not last week because I was at tech rehearsal, but the week before, Sandy brought in her computer and her iPad to back it up so that she was having some, and I partially feel bad. She completely acquitted me of any wrongdoing. But the guy at the store told her that she needed to back up and basically install it from scratch, the software from scratch, so that and then reinstall the backup. And so we did that, and it wouldn't do it. It wouldn't do it. And so now the iPad is just a brick. That's a term, bricking items, basically, meaning it doesn't work, and so it's as useless as a brick. And she spent over 2 hours after I spent all the time working on it. She spent 2 hours with Apple, with 2 different technicians. And they said, we don't know what's going on, but it's not restoring. And so. But
can she access the data that's in the backup on her platform?
She hasn't. So then that's why we backed it up to her computer.
Yeah.
So next time, Daniel got sick last night, and so she couldn't come in today. Otherwise, she would have brought her computer in, and it would have been sitting here and would have been restoring it. So yeah, you can, and that's the good thing about if you ever have, and it's not just iPhones, but any portable device, any kind of phone, any kind of tablet, if you back it up on your computer, it creates a much more complete backup than backing it up to any kind of cloud storage, whether it's the iCloud or Google Drive or whatever. Yeah. And so that's what we did. And so when she brings it in, she should be able to, we should plug it in and the backup should bring it back
I've never even thought about my iPad crashing.
Hers didn't crash. Hers had this extreme battery drain where she would charge it and then it would shut down, and then she'd turn it back on and it would have like 5% battery left after hardly using it all. And so they said, it could be some kind of glitch in when it of
Even tractors are that way now. They've all got chips, and
mm-hmm.
if the lights turn yellow, you got a problem.
Really?
Yeah. It's
Call the dealership.
exactly.
So I have a question on my iPad.
Yes.
Number of questions.
Okay.
Good.
So when I go into my favorites
In Safari.
in Safari.
Yep.
I'll get there. And you can store things in the bookmarks and the
Yes.
history and all that.
Yep.
So once I get them in there, how do I get rid of them?
Swipe from right to left.
Right to left.
And there should be a big red delete button that pops up.
Right to left. No, that's how.
Let's see.
No, I haven't. Okay. I was in history. Sorry. Favorites history. So here.
That's
Oh, right.
there you go.
It's my other one.
It's your other right.
Okay.
It's all right. I'm terrible with directions.
Okay.
Yep.
And so that works the same if I go over to the favorites then. Be still right
Favorites
to
should
left.
be the same way. Yeah. For history, there's a button at the bottom that says clear. And then it'll give you options if you want to clear the last hour, the last day, or from all time.
Okay.
So, yeah. But yeah, if you want to delete bookmarks or favorites,
Okay.
then that's how you would do that.
And then the other thing is when I go into my mailbox, which has a few different accounts in it. It has Hotmail and Comcast, and I think there's a Gmail account in there.
Yep.
Suddenly it's duplicating stuff where I have all inboxes and then one inbox for my Hotmail
Right.
and then another one for
One for Hotmail, one for Gmail, one for Comcast.
oh, duh, I can't get in here because I'm not online. Okay, so, but then in each one it's got my folders and stuff. So it's like it's
Correct.
duplicating it.
Well, so the reason why it's that way is the all inbox feature. Let's see if we can. The all inbox feature is so that you can basically have access to all of your different accounts in just one long scrolling list. Then, but that's all it does. Is it's only your inbox for the all inbox thing. Then it's got different sections for your iCloud email and your Gmail. And those sections then have all of your folders that you've ever created. You can also go to any drafts that you've saved an email that you haven't finished writing yet. Anything that you've sent, all of your junk, your archived, your trashed emails. So that's why it does that.
So the top one is just basically an index of all the other things that you've got.
The top one is, it's simply your inbox, just what is currently sitting in your regular email accounts. Whereas like in your junk mail won't show up in your inbox. So if you saved something to a folder, that's not going to show up in your inbox anymore. So your inbox is just a list of what's currently in your different email accounts inboxes.
Can you set up folders in that?
Not in the all inbox part. For your individual accounts, you can.
So I'll show you what I've got. I've got a folder called attachments, and I don't remember putting that in there.
Well, that might have been.
And it says 3, but there's tons of them in there, and so I'm wondering if somehow
I think
filing them
the
in.
the 3 probably means 3 that you haven't read. 3 unread emails.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that there's 3 in there. So, like this has 5 in my trash for my that account, but those are 5 that those are just 5 that I never actually opened and put straight into my trash can.
So do you have an attachments folder?
I don't think so.
See, that's what I'm wondering, because I don't remember ever creating that. And yet that's where a lot of, unless this is, because it has so many, maybe it's a compilation of all the attachments that are in these other ones.
I think it is. Yep.
Okay.
because that's part of your. And maybe this is the future of the iPad.
What, y'all are in mail?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you on your iPad? Do you have an attachments?
Right now.
It says all inboxes. Then it's got a list of her 3 inboxes, and then it's got attachments and all sent. And again, that might be an iPad feature because it's not showing up in my. Oh, there we go. So, oops. So I just pushed the edit
So
button.
you don't have.
Well, no, I just pushed the edit button, and now there's an attachments thing that you can.
Oh, that you can choose.
That you can choose to show up. So if you don't want that there, just push the edit
Okay.
and then uncheck the checkbox.
Okay. So let me see if it'll let me do that. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And so then, and you can move them around. These little 3 bars can let you move up and down for priority.
Yeah, that's another thing I tried to do was reorganize some of those things.
Mm-hmm.
And when I put my finger on them and slid them, all it did was highlight it. It didn't actually move them.
So maybe when you got your iPad, it defaulted to having that attachment thing there.
That could be.
So you can just click that check mark and then click done at the top, and it'll go away. It's just an easy way for you to find the emails. So I might turn that on actually for me, because I'm constantly looking for emails from different people that have attachments on
attachments.
them. Thank you. And so,
Would you like some coffee?
No, thank you. Yeah, I forgot your name.
Mark.
Mark. I'm Hannah.
Oops. So yeah, dude. And then it must have just defaulted that way when you got your iPad.
Well, I've already obviously checked it though, so maybe I checked it thinking, I don't know, who knows what I was thinking.
Well, you might have accidentally pushed the edit button and then were scrolling, and instead of scrolling, your finger checked it. I mean, there could be lots of different reasons why it showed up.
So here's another question.
Yep.
What the POP folder, that was already there. So what does POP mean other than, I mean, I think I know what it means, but why would it be separate from all the others?
It's been a really long time, but POP mail is a type of mail. I don't know why there's a separate folder for it. What's it under?
It's under my Hotmail. I think when I quit work, I transferred a lot of my email from work
to your Hotmail account?
To my Hotmail account on my computer. And then when I synced the two, I think that's when it showed up. Yeah,
it might have. So yes, for example, a lot of internet service providers like Comcast, Frontier, Cox Communications, all of the big use or used to use. I don't really know anymore because I haven't really paid attention, but used to use or still use POP mail, which is just a type of mail, and I don't remember what
protocol.
Something over protocol mail. And so if you had a company email, it probably used POP, and so when you transferred that over to your Hotmail may have just automatically generated a folder.
Okay. Yeah, because mostly it's duplicate stuff.
Because it probably recognized it as POP mail.
Okay.
Yeah, when again, it's not an issue anymore, but there used to be issues with